Hey, hello. My name is Yolanda Sanchez, and I am co-leader, along with my sister Benita, for Abuelas Responden, Grannies Respond of Sacramento. I want to thank Lorraine for inviting me here to speak with you, and I want to thank all of you for being here. A year ago, I was awoken by the cries heard around the world of a little girl separated at the U.S. border from her papi and her mommy. As I listened to her pleas, my heart broke and anger swelled in me as I asked myself, where are we? Nazi Germany? This was so unbelievable. How is it possible that in this day and age, this great country of ours could commit such atrocity upon another human being, let alone a child? How can families, little children, be torn apart and I, an abuela, just stand by and watch it happen? How can this happen right before our eyes and we remain silent? We can't and we shouldn't. I thank God that many other abuelas felt this way too, because days after those cries were heard, a group of abuelas from Beacon, New York, made a call to action on Facebook, calling all abuelas and grannies across the country to meet them at Ground Zero. On August 6th, we arrived in McAllen, Texas, as a show of solidarity against the illegal separation of families. We came together to witness and to be of service and to learn what we can do back at our homes to combat this hateful rhetoric. And Abuelas Responden, Grannies Respond was born. Thank you. Abuelas Responden is part of the nationwide Grannies Overground Railroad. I remember when we first heard about the Overground Railroad, a woman in the audience asked if it was like the Underground Railroad. And she was told very firmly, no, because we won't hide. I love that she said that because we are living in frightening times and I was scared. I still am, and I'm probably more scared now. But I refuse to be afraid of doing what is so natural for me, an abuela, to respond to an immediate and tragic need. And that is what we did. I am proud of what Abuelas Responden are doing. We are not political nor religious group. We are abuelas who care. Our main purpose is to bring light and love to weary travelers. We meet asylum seekers who are traveling by bus from the detention centers as they make their way to their destination. We meet their buses and welcome them. We let them know where they're at and check their ticket to make sure they transfer to the right buses. We bring them sandwiches or burritos, fresh fruit, and water. We also hand out backpacks with toiletries, blankets, socks, underwear, and a few extra snacks. For the children, ages 1 to 18, we give age-appropriate coloring books, reading books, small handheld toys, decks of cards, just a little something to make the long hours more bearable. By the time our travelers come through Sacramento, they have probably been on the bus at least 30 plus hours. And if they are going to Washington State, that could be another 15 to 20 hours. I'm talking little children too. When those kids get off the bus, you would think they would be kicking and screaming like I know my 7-year-old granddaughter would have, but they don't. Surprisingly, they are often in a good mood and will engage in conversation with us. They get so excited with the fruit that we give them, and it doesn't take long before they are gobbling it up. They, along with their parents, are the most pleasant, most thankful, most appreciative, and most faithful people I have ever encountered. These weary travelers have no idea how often their resilient and brave spirit has lifted me up. On August 6th, Benita and I celebrated 1 year of our commitment to Abuelas Responden. And although it was just the two of us who drove to Texas last year to witness and learn, so many others have generously donated funds and continue to do so to make our efforts possible. For the first 6 months, Benita and I went to the bus station every day, sometimes twice. I'm proud to say that we now have 18 abuelas who take turns meeting the buses. Some come all the way from Grass Valley. Not all abuelas can go to the station, but they always find some way to help. We have an awesome volunteer coordinator Another manages our Amazon wish list, and another keeps stats, so we have an idea of how many asylees we've served. Currently, we've been serving about 100 a month. Our goal is to have enough abuelas on board so that the station is being covered twice a day. I'd like to share an experience I had with a mother from El Salvador. The mother with 2 teen daughters was a storekeeper who couldn't keep up with the demands from gang members to give them more money. And when they began making threats against her daughters, she knew she had to flee. This woman had some money and paid a coyote to cross her at the border. What she didn't know was that she didn't need him because she could legally cross into the United States by asking for asylum. Instead, the coyote took her and her daughters and at least 10 other women and children out into the desert. He told them to walk to the top of the hill, and there they would see the border patrol and they could turn themselves in. And then he left them. The mother said it was late, they were tired and thirsty and very scared. One of the babies had been bitten by something and was screaming uncontrollably. They were able to find their way because of the full moon and walk to the top of the hill, only to find nobody there. She said they were horrified, and all they had left to do was cry and shout and clamor in fear and plead to God to help them. The word clamor means noisy shouting. It's a word I rarely hear, but it has stuck in my heart because as she told me her story, it was as if I could hear their pleas. They climbed down the hill and continued walking, and out of nowhere, the border patrol appeared. As the woman finished recounting her story, she gave thanks to God because he had gotten her this far, and everything she and her daughters had suffered was behind them now, and they would only look forward because she believed in her heart that their life was already better because she was in the United States. As I said earlier, we are not doing this alone. Many people make it possible for us to continue our humanitarian efforts. If you are interested in learning more or helping in any way, please stop at our table and pick up information on how you can help. One big lesson I've learned this past year is that if everybody gave just a little, whether it be money, time, or talent, your giving will go a long way and help so many. I know that because I see it. It's so amazing to see this. In closing, a few months after Benita and I started going to the station, I asked her, how long do you think we'll be doing this? And almost as soon as I said it, we both knew, as long as we need to, because that's what abuelas do. So I want to thank you again for being here, for your support. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for your concern. And I just thank you all. Gracias, abuela.